I had an experience about a year ago. My husband had back surgery, and we were in the Salem Hospital in Salem, Oregon. And I've been thinking about that as I listen to everything that you're talking about here and how every person impacts the experience of the patient and his or her family. And I was thinking about that morning that we showed up for surgery. And if any one person had been the least bit short or terse with me, it could have put me over the edge. My husband had been in pain for a long time, serious pain. Back surgery is not something that you just wake up one day and say, you know, I think I'm going to go have that back operated on. And so we had talked to some people that had had great results. We also had a friend who had back surgery who never walked again. And so as we were going in there, you remember the picture they showed of the little girl earlier with the face that was like this? That's how we felt. We were scared. We were nervous. We didn't know what the outcome would be. And I remember walking in and the receptionist greeting us, and she was so cheerful and so kind. I remember when the anesthesiologist, when they came for us and they took him back, that they invited me to come back. And they stood there and they talked to us about what we did, what we enjoyed. We said we like to hike and that, you know, hoping that this surgery will be able to hike long hikes again. They talked about camping. They made us laugh. They eased the tension. It was just wonderful. But there were two people that I really remember the most of all. And that was Wally, the night nurse, and Elise, the day nurse. I had taken in an iPod and put on some of my husband's favorite music because I thought if he could listen to music, that would be more soothing than watching the television, and it would make it feel more cozy and like home. And Wally walked by in the evening, and he popped his head in and he said, "Is that Otmar Liebert?" We said, "Yeah, it is." And he said, "I love that guy." He's a Spanish classical guitar player. So he came in, he talked to Alex about music. We found out that he was a musician. He let us a little bit into his world. He shared who he was with us. That night, I was totally prepared to spend the night. And I was very concerned about my husband. You know, he had tubes going into and out of every part of his body. And I wasn't sure that he would be okay there by himself. And Wally, when he came by to check on him about 10 o'clock, I said, what should I do? Should I spend the night? He said, you know, I'm just going to hang out here with Alex and we're just going to listen to music together. I went home, slept like a baby. Now, I have no idea of how many patients Wally had to take care of that night. But he made me feel like Alex was the only one and that he was the most important one and that he had the time to sit down and listen to music. And I've thought afterwards, after I listened to all of you, he didn't have time to listen to music. He didn't have time. But the thing is, he made me feel like he did. He made me feel like my husband was safe and that he would be cared for and that he would have companionship. And then Lydia, the day nurse, found out that he was a professor at Oregon State University, and she had been a student there. So she connected with him on that level. It was such a gift to us to have these connections, to have the kind of care that they provided for us. And one of the things that, as I hear you talk here about rounding with patients and rounding with families, as I sat there and read through the book about how to order food and all of the other services at the hospital, I noticed in the book that there was this paragraph about the nursing staff, and it said, if you get exceptional service from or attention from any nurse and you would like to bring attention to them, please consider making a donation to the foundation. And I thought, that was such a good idea. And so when we went home, we wrote a letter to the foundation director and just talked about what Wally and Elise had meant to us and how their treatment of Alex had made such a difference. And you know, I know we had a great surgeon. We had a good outcome. But the thing that I remember is the kindness, the compassion, the way they treated him, the way they treated me. And I see that you are doing that at Inova, and I'm just so impressed and so honored that I had the chance to be here and to participate in this.